let me guess, you're a woman in sales, but you don't know how to use that to your advantage. You're trying to sell like a man, and you're trying to use old-fashioned sales techniques that get you nowhere. Well, I'm going to be showing you a few tips and tricks in this video that I use that help me in my sales game. Let me tell you who I am. So my name is Hillary Camacho, and I've been doing insurance since 2017. I graduated high school 2016, so ever since I've been doing insurance. That's like 7 years ago. Dang, I'm getting old. But anyway, yeah, I'm a top producer at my agency. I've been a top producer at every single agency that I go to. I put in the work and I see the results. But I also use some feminine charm to my advantage where I'm at. So I use that with customers, and I'm going to be showing you a few tips and tricks of what I do. I honestly feel that because we are women, we can get away with a lot more over the phone, especially with your tone of voice. So that's the number one thing you want to keep in check when you're on the phone with these customers is your tone of voice. So in the initial ring, whenever you call people out, let's say you're doing internet leads and you're calling them out, and you're trying to get them to not hang up on you. So you have to use an enticing voice. That's what I do a lot. So I change my voice up a lot over the phone, depending on who I'm talking to and what I want from them. So let's say I'm gonna do an example, okay? So here's what I do on my job. I call them. So let's do ring ring. And I'm gonna, hi, is this John? Hey, John. Sorry, no, that was not good. That's not what I do. I'm just a little nervous. No, I actually say, hi John, my name is Hillary. I'm calling from Allstate about your quote. I do have it ready for you. I wanted to go over a few more things. So I wanted to ask you really quick, how old is your roof? And I go right in with the question. So do you see how I kind of change my tone a little bit? I don't know if you noticed, but I notice it. And also when I leave a voicemail, I leave a really enticing voicemail too with my voice. So I'll be like, hi, it's Hillary here at Allstate. I was calling to go over your quote. I still have a few more questions to ask you. That's not the final rate. I am going to email it over to you, but please give me a call back. So I don't have it right in front of me, the script that I use, but that's kind of what I do over the phone. Like I kind of change my voice up and I play around. If it's somebody that's more in a hurry, well, I try to make it more high pitch and a beat. And I'm like, okay, let me get this sent over to you. Okay, let me verify this really quick. Let me do this, do that. If it's somebody that has more time, I'll kind of take my time with them and I'll be like, oh, okay, so how's your day going so far? How you doing today? And you have to you're kind of being like a voice actor over the phone. That's at least how I like to think about it. And honestly, the more slow, the more seductive, the more pretty, the more charming your voice sounds, the less likely they are to hang up on you. If you're being kind of rude, if you're being dry, if you're being kind of like aggressive over the phone, they're not going to like that. And that's for men and women. They don't like that over the phone. They want to hear somebody that's calm, somebody that's soothing, somebody that's, asking them about their day, what they're doing, building rapport, all that good stuff comes too. But first, it starts with your tone of voice. It's like if I'm like this, if I'm like, okay, oh, sorry, why did I just pick my burger on the screen? I don't know, but I'm not going to cut that out. But anyway, it's like if I'm like this, like, okay, I'm calling about the quote that you requested. You don't want to hear that, right? You don't want to hear that over. You're going to be like, click, bye. Okay, you're not gonna want to do that. So what I always feel like is my superpower over the phone is my voice and how I use it and how I'm like, okay, yeah, we can do that. We can lock it in today. I don't really say that, because people are listening to me at work, but I wish I could. If I was working from home, I would do it even more. I would exaggerate it. Or I laugh a lot. I'll be like, yeah, you're so funny. Oh my goodness, really? I just laugh it out with the customer. That's what I do best. I laugh. I guess in a way you can say that it's kind of like flirting, but I don't do it intentionally or in a bad way. I just do it to earn their trust, make them feel comfortable, and in the end they give me payment information. And if you're wondering where I'm at, outside my patio, look how beautiful this is. I feel really comfortable here, and it's getting dark, so I'm getting a little bit scared, but let's move on to the next tip. Okay, The next tip that I have for you on how to sell being a woman is to always send them something in writing, through email preferably, but you can do text and you can also leave a voicemail. So for me, I like to do all the following when I get a new lead or when I get a new customer that's interested in buying insurance. I like to send out a text, I like to leave a voicemail, of course call them, and also send them an email with an actual quote. So in our system, we can do what's called a dummy quote, where we kind of put in like a number and it gives us a cheap rate, and we can email it out. It looks like a real quote, but it's not actually a real quote. But the customer sees it on their end and it entices them, it gets their attention, and then they call. Plus, if you're leaving them a voicemail or sending them a text, and if you're calling them, they're gonna see all that back to back to back, and they're gonna want to call you more. Some people are gonna be annoyed, of course. Some people are gonna be like, oh, I don't want to buy from her, she's annoying me, or this is too much. But if they see the price and they like it, they're gonna call you back. You just never know. I think with sales, you have to get into that mentality that it's more like you're throwing a net out into the ocean and you're catching as many fish as you can. You're not really a shark. I mean, I don't see myself as a shark, because I don't know, I just don't. I do have that mentality, I do have that drive and everything, but I don't want to come off I don't want to come off as a shark to the customer. Ooh, there's a bug on me. I don't want to come off as a shark to the customer. So I just kind of throw the net, lay back, and see what I can catch. That's how I like to think about sales. So yeah. So recap so far of my tips is: number one, your tone of voice and your attitude over the phone. You want to be free, fun, flowing, giggly, and all that, and have a nice, charming voice. You don't have to be like that naturally. You're putting on an act. Remember, this is your job. It's not who you are, but you have to put on an act. That's what I've noticed that I have to do. That's tip number one. Tip number two is you have to send them something in writing so you can build their trust. You have to send them an email, you have to send them a text, you have to leave them a voicemail, and do all that good stuff before you even get on the phone with them. Tip number three, you want to be real with the customer over the phone. You want to put on an act, yes, with your tone of voice and of course how bubbly you are, but you also want to be real with them and be who you are. You don't want to fake it necessarily too much, because they're going to see that, they're going to notice that, they're going to hear that and see right through you. You want to be real. So I would say ask grounding questions. Like for me, of course, how's your day going so far? But you have to word it in a certain way. Like, how's your day going so far besides shopping for insurance? I bet you're getting a lot of phone calls today, right? Things like that. It all depends on how you say it over the phone. I do have a script that I use, or a few terms that I use, but I don't have them written down somewhere. I'm going to try to get that for you so you can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, just certain phrases, like if their birthday's coming up, remember that their birthday's coming up, so happy birthday. If they're buying a new house, say congratulations on the new home. If you hear baby in the background, you want to say, oh, is that a baby? Oh my goodness, that's so cute. Little things that you can relate to them, and it might feel fake at first, yes, because it felt like that to me too, and it felt really cringy. But the more you get used to it, the more it comes to you naturally. And you don't want to just be transactional with people either. You want to actually build a relationship with them. You want to actually get to know them and hear them out. When you ask these questions, don't just ask them and then be like, okay, how old is your roof? Or like, okay, what kind of coverages do you want? You don't go into that like that. You have to listen to them and also relate to them and hear them out too, because we tend to kind of just want to express our needs first, but that's not what you want to do. Especially as a woman, you want to be there and listen to them and make them feel heard, make them feel like you understand what they want and what they're talking about, and repeat what they said to you so they can feel heard as well. You want to do that, and you want to be a really, really good listener, and just be real with them. Like, just be real, like, hey, I'm sorry, I'm sorry you're getting all these phone calls, or like, oh, I know I called you a few times, but here I am. Hopefully it'll be the last call that you make. So kind of just be real, use real terminology, be a human to these people, because they don't want to hear just another robot reading off a script. That's the least thing they want to hear over the phone. They want to hear somebody that they can trust, that's real, that's honest, and that's working on getting them the best deal possible. Another tip that I use a lot is I recommend things to people. I don't ask them that much anymore. What coverages do you want? What deductibles do you want? Like, what do you want? What do you have? I kind of stopped doing that because that confuses people and that makes them think and that makes their brain like fry up. We don't want to confuse our customers. We want it to be as easy, as seamless as possible. So I would start off as like, I recommend this for you. I'm looking at your home, I'm looking at this and that, whatever you're trying to sell, and I recommend this. You know, I've been doing this for so long. I recommend you get this. I recommend we do this, we do that, and I would do this. If this is my family, this is my mom, on my mom's policy, I did this and that and that. So I tell them what they need and what they want. As an insurance expert, I do that for them. So you can do that too. I feel like recommending stuff to people is way better than asking them, well, what deductible do you have now? Or send me your current declaration page so I can compare apples to apples. We don't want that. We want to recommend what's best for them in this market and this time of day based on their home and all that good stuff. So recommend stuff to them, and that helps them earn their trust. And for my last tip, you want to build a sense of urgency with these customers. I know we're being like a woman, we're being more laid back and more kind and more all that, but you also want to kind of throw in at the end that these rates can change, or this quote is not good for long. I'm not trying to rush you, but I do recommend we get this set up today. I can get you set up. I can get all the rates and discounts locked in for you. All I would need would be your bank routing and account number, and I can go ahead and set this up for you for this day. And then just pause and see what they say. So you want to kind of have like a sense of urgency and ask for the sale. Always ask for the sale at the end of a phone call. You never know what they might say, even if they sound like they're being really picky or they're being kind of hard to budge. You always want to ask for the sale at the end and build a sense of urgency with them and say, hey, these rates can change, of course, this quote's not good for long, I recommend this, I recommend that. I would say that's what I would do. And that concludes this video. I hope you got some really helpful tips from this video. It's getting dark out here and I'm low-key getting scared. I have the low light filter on my camera, so you can't really see how dark it is. Like, let me take it off. This is how dark it really is, but well, not really that dark. Just the camera is weird. But yes, thank you so much, so much for watching my video. You don't know how much it means to me as a small little YouTuber trying to grow, that you click on my video first off, that you watch second of all, and that you finish it. That's insane to me. Thank you, and I really appreciate all the love and all the views that are coming to me, and that's all thanks to you. So yeah, please subscribe. I'm gonna be posting more insurance related content. I do a lot of makeup, girly stuff, or just whatever I feel like it, honestly. I don't really have a niche, or like I don't post certain things. I just post what's on my mind. But yeah, follow me for more.